Hello again. It's time for another edition of the Hampton Road Sports Report on Cox as we present to you the best of the best when it comes to high school football highlights around the area. With Morgan Ling, I am Matthew Hatfield. And Morgan, we've got a phenomenal slate of games today.
We do. We're going to kick them right off. We're going to head to Salem High School in Virginia Beach to see Salem take on the Bayside Marlins.
Salem's a team here, Morgan, that has beaten Bayside each of the last 3 times they've played since Bayside won the regional title back in 2010. But a different Salem team, just like a different Bayside team, as you got the head coach, Robert Jackson, facing his pupil, Bayside, who he once coached, in John White for the Marlins. And the Sun Devils get it off, starting here with the sophomore quarterback, Terrell Lightbody, going up top. He's got a man. It is David Davis who will go in for the touchdown. But wait, we've got some penalties.
Fortunately, it's going to be a holding call, bringing them back, which would have put them up 6 or 7 points, depending if they made the kick. But here we go. Holding call comes in, get their team together, gives an opportunity for the Sun Devils coach to see what they might play next. Defensive coordinator there, you can see. And starting off, we have Dejon Bland going to get the ball from Salem. And he gets a good run here, but he's stopped and brought down by Blanding and Sadler. Yeah,
you see Quinn Blanding, the All-American, headed to the University of Virginia for Bayside, number 7 there. He's a star on defense and a star on offense. This time it's the sophomore triggerman, Dante Lampley, finding Blanding, who hauls it in down the left sideline, and he will go 56 yards to pay dirt. But remember I said we've got some penalties. We had one for a touchdown callback, and we've got another, Morgan.
Second flag could have been a second touchdown, and game's taking a turn here. Another holding play, and Bayside is going to end up having another opportunity here to put on the board with number 11, Dante Lampley, who will end up getting a good pass. But what happens? It's tipped by Salem, interception, and that's a huge play for Salem to be able to come back and possibly get a score.
Absolutely, as we saw Salem's defense a week ago with all the takeaways against Green Run in their win, and they're doing it again here with the defense leading to some offense as it is. Tyler McKee with the 40-yard field goal. Sun Devils strike first, 3-0 late in the first period. We'll see how Bayside responds, and that's not the way to do it. As a bad snap makes Quinn Blanding have to try to punt it, and he can't get the punt off. Andre Turan lands in the end zone for a touchdown, and all of a sudden a game that was tight is now a double-digit lead for the Sun Devils as McKee tacks on the extra point.
That's too bad there on that touchdown, which went in, but good for Salem. They'll take it, and we're up 10-0 Salem. And Bayside's going to be able to get on the board here with McIntosh getting a 37-yard field goal, and here we are with 10-3 with about 7 minutes left in the first quarter.
And despite all the mistakes, Bayside still very much in it. You see the Salem cheerleaders loving it as their team is winning, trying to move to 3-0. And another bad snap, making Bayside have to improvise here and get something here, but it's going to be a 4th down, loss of yardage, and that leads to another Salem field goal. McKee this time from 28 yards out, putting Salem back up by 10. It's 13-3 in favor of the host Sun Devils in the third quarter.
Yeah, McKee's second field goal of the night. It's nice to see he's getting good percentages here. And we've got White with Bayside coming in slow-mo a little bit with Jamez Brickhouse with a touchdown. Great grab with coverage, 13-10. Bayside is getting closer.
They are getting closer now. They're revving up that passing attack, which they will need to do more of here to get back in this and take the lead, as Salem's lead is now only 3 with 6:41 to go. Here we go. Last try for the Marlins is Dante Lampley looking for Blanding, but that one will be overthrown out of bounds, and the Sun Devils hold on and get the win to stay unbeaten at 3-0. Coach Jackson gets his pupil and Coach White. 13-10, the Sun Devils win it, as you see Jaquan Davis with a pair of receptions for 40 yards. Quinn Blanding had 3 catches for 48 yards in the loss, and Dante Lampley added 128 yards passing and a touchdown.
And here we are with Ocean Lakes Dolphins taking on the Kellum Knights. It's a beautiful new stadium at Kellum. Look at that turf, it looks fantastic. Starting off the game with a pitch to Brandon Simmons, who will be brought down by Mark Anthony Wilk, our long-haired friend there at Kellum.
Digging the locks there for Anthony Wilk, and the Ocean Lakes, they're digging their quarterback, Churchy Harold. It's his birthday, and he's planning to have a party. He finds Quincy Watts for a 52-yard touchdown, the first of many aerial strikes throughout the day for the Dolphins as they lead at 7-0 early on in the first quarter.
And here's one of my favorite plays, and probably the reason that I never decided to play football. Let's check out this monster hit by Jason Lewis. Thank goodness they're wearing pads, but we've got sacked down here with Kellum. Dolphins defense with DeWick Knowlton takes a huge sack, bringing them back down.
That's a dominating defensive front. You see Derek Noddy, one of the top players in the area with that big hit there. And then it's Jordan Bobo delivering a boo-boo here with the safety as Ocean Lake's getting some big plays offensively and the defense staying involved in the act too. And this sets up Churchy Herald going back to the air here as he finds an open man. That's Jason Lewis, the junior, one of the top recruits in the country for 2015. 30-yard touchdown. Ocean Lake's up 16 in the first quarter and looking for more. Yeah,
they're looking for more, and they're going to try to get more with this onside kick. And who recovers? Dolphins recover. So there we go, Ocean Lakes with another opportunity to see what happens on the next play.
Coach Chris Scott has to be happy. His offense, his defense, and his special teams playing extremely well early on. And Churchy Herald, he has been flawless just about thus far here as he throws it this time to Watts. 45-yard hook up there, and the Dolphins now up 23-0 beginning the second quarter. Kellum needs to act quickly here, or this could really get ugly in a hurry.
But here we go with Churchy again, this time to Mike Alston. That's going to be a 74-yard run. There is not a defender in sight there as he makes it in and gets the score. Back again, we've got Ocean Lake, 67 yards. This time, though, to Jason Lewis, that star recruit on a slant. He'll go 90 with bringing up Ocean Lakes with a 37-0 score over Kellum.
I reckon that call was slant and go to the house as the Dolphins continue to pour on with that great receiving core and the arm of Churchy Herald. And Churchy Herald this time is intercepted by the sophomore John Whitaker, no relation to Sweet Pea. Kellum now with a takeaway that they much needed here as they now try to make up that big deficit. It's 37-0 Ocean Lakes at the half, and the running clock will start the second half.
It will. Good interception there by Kellum. And number 33 here of Ocean Lakes is going to get another score. Brandon Simmons, a 9-yard into the end zone.
And the Dolphins mixing in that passing game with the run game. And now it's the backup quarterback, Brendan O'Neill, in for Churchy, getting some rest. And Levante Taylor, the sophomore, scores it. 50-0 your score as Ocean Lakes moves to 2-0. Churchy Herald with 416 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'd say that's a nice birthday right there. Jason Lewis and Quincy Watts with 2 touchdown receptions apiece, while Malik Baker has 52 yards rushing in defeat.
And we've got Green Run over Tallwood, Stallions over the Lions with Anthony Scott with 265 yards, 4 total touchdowns. Kempsville in overtime over Princess Anne, 21-14. Chris Robinson having a big game with 127 yards. And Cox taking over Lansdowne, 47-19. Tommy McKee having a large game with 5 total touchdowns. Very impressive.
Well, don't you go anywhere, because why? We've got more highlights from high school football around the area, plus our Best of the 757 report here on Sports Report.
And welcome back to the Sports Report. We're going to head out to Christopher Newport for a Sports Report Extra with our friend Matt.
When you think of the Tidewater area, so many great football players have been produced from here. You think of Bruce Smith, Percy Harvin, Allen Iverson, Plaxico Burris, E.J. Manuel, Justin Hunter, and oh so many more, as the 757 is the recruiting hotbed for football talent in Virginia. The Best of the 757 football showcase, held annually at Christopher Newport University, is the place to be to get seen and exposure for the next level as many athletes come to show off their skills and talent in competition.
Best of 757, Matt, is a high school showcase for all the student athletes in the 757 community. Really, what we want to do is shine the spotlight on the athletes and give them an opportunity to test their athleticism, so their 40-yard dash, 5-10-5, vertical jump, and then also have a coaching element to it as well. So we have some of the best high school coaches in the community that come out, volunteer their time to really help coach the athletes about certain position-specific drills. And then we end it with a couple fun things. We do a 7-on-7, so we really let them compete. And then we do a lineman challenge, which is very unique, and they really get after it. So it's a combination of a combine and a showcase.
Well, it's just another opportunity as far as my players go, is to get out here, you know, get coaching sometimes from a different perspective with some different coaches. They get to challenge themselves against the best in the area. So I think it's real beneficial for all the young men, my kids and kids in other programs.
So if you come out here and you don't do as well as you think you should, nobody really knows about it. Now, and then the kids who do really well, they get all the exposure. So that's why I don't shy away from sending some kids here that might not be ready, because it really does show them that they're not ready. And it shows them the work that they need to do, and then they go home, and if they're the type of kid that we want, they're going to get better and they're going to make themselves ready.
What's so great about this event is that year after year we get some really great names involved in it, guys that are going to be playing D1. But what we get really excited about is those kids that might make a D3 or a D2 program, or a kid that may be off the radar screen completely and get noticed by a host number of schools.
It brings together the best athletes from 757. And it's not terribly expensive, so most young men can afford it. And it gives the guys a chance to see people from their area.
There you go!
So there you have it from the best of the 757 football showcase at CNU. So many great stories have been told and many more to come. You want to keep it here all season long, watching the football action with the highlights and all the stories to tell on Cox Channel 11. And we now head to Powhatan Field in Norfolk for the Granby Comets taking on the Great Bridge Wildcats. Great Bridge dominated the series for quite a while until last year when Granby beat Great Bridge during their 9-1 regular season. Can Great Bridge get revenge this time?
Well, right out of the gate, we have a key play with special teams with a recovery, bad snap, and recovery with Granby.
Granby will get a field goal here out of this as it's Hayden Platt, the kicker, with a 21-yard boot through the uprights. 3-0 our score in favor of the Comets going to the second quarter as the defenses are the story here early on.
And Great Bridge with the ball, ready to throw. And what happens? A tip with Bujo, number 11, getting a pick.
William Smith does it on offense as the starting quarterback, and in defense with the interceptions now. And now Bujo's going to the air. He's got an open man. It is sophomore Jaquavion Beecham who will sky up for the ball on a 40-yard reception. It was so nice we got to see it twice.
Let's see it again here. And with coverage, nice grab, heading backwards into the end zone for the score. I'd say for a sophomore, that's a pretty impressive play. And we're going to keep going. Bujo with another play with a fake option, quarterback keeper, 1-yard touchdown run. He punches it in with Granby on the board, 10-0.
Read option working to perfection early on for Granby, and it was Bujo that time, and Bujo this time is going to roll out here. He's going to try to get in the end zone, and he will end up, looks like he got in, but instead the referees will say he was down at the 12-yard run for Bujo to the goal line, where it's the fullback Tommy Spencer punching in for a yard out, and now Granby in the lead 16-0. The extra point would be no good, and the Comets bouncing back from that tough, heartbreaking loss a week ago to kick it to him.
And Great Bridge Wildcats trying to get on the board here with Daquan Coffey to number 3, KJ Holloway, who's going to end up going 39 yards on the bubble screen, and he's going to end up being brought down just outside the red zone. But Coffey is going to play it again with the next play to Holloway, which is going to be a 16-yard. Is it going to be a touchdown? Let's see. Touchdown with coverage, and in 16-6, getting Great Bridge on the board.
Really accurate throw right here. As you see, Coffey finds Holloway here. He had 3 receivers set there to the right, and he brings it in, and that brings it 16-6 in favor of Granby at the half. Great Bridge, though, will have a chance here to make it closer as a bad snap goes over the punter's head. He'll try to cover it up here and just end up taking the safety as Jalen Booker brings him down. So now the Wildcats just need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this puppy up here at 16-8 in favor of the Comets in the third quarter.
Yeah, the number 10 is going to have another play here, running over his lineman as he takes it down, getting brought down around the 3-yard line there. Big pull down, and are they going to be able to get into the end zone? And here we see it, a 2 to 3 yard punch in here with touchdown by Booker.
Yeah, Booker giving him the running game to complement Coffey and Holloway through the air. The 2-point conversion can knot it up at 16. However, the pass is incomplete, so the Comets maintain a 16-14 lead going to the fourth quarter, where things will only get more exciting and tighter here. Hayden Platt with the field goal, 29 yards for the Comets. It's good. That pushes the Granby lead to 19-14, but Granby has to punt, so Great Bridge will get the ball back with a chance to win this thing.
And here comes a punt, 57 yards in fact, which is going to be brought down around the 2nd yard line. And let's see, with 5-point lead, they need Great Bridge getting 98 yards with just under 2 minutes. Do you think they can do it?
I would say that punt really helps Granby's chances of winning it because they got to go 98 yards on a critical play there for the Comets, and this pass on 4th down for Great Bridge is going to be incomplete, wide out, unable to haul it in as the defense makes a stand early and does so late for Granby, who moves to 1-2 overall on the season. As you see, Spencer with 80 yards rushing, a touchdown on 17 attempts. Bujo with 84 yards passing, a touchdown run, and 2 picks, while Holloway had 79 yards receiving on 6 catches in the loss for Great Bridge, who falls to 1-1.
And the Bruins over the Hawks 50-7 with Mondragover, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Oscar Smith 61-0 over Indian River with Deshaun McLeese, a name we recognize, 115 yards and 5 touchdowns.
It was Booker T. Washington shutting out Wilson 22-0 to move to 2-1. Cameron Taylor with 96 yards receiving and a touchdown. And the Churchland Truckers are 3-0 for the first time since 1996, beating Nansemond River 27-8.
And we're going back to the Eastern District. We've got Lake Taylor 41 over Amherst County 10. Marquise Hawkins 19 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. And Norcom 35 over 17 on Deep Creek. Charles Wiggs getting 4 touchdowns with 211 yards.
Well, don't you go anywhere because we've got more highlights, including Hampton versus Heritage in the Peninsula District and Bruton versus Lafayette in the Bay Rivers here on Sports Report.
And welcome back to the Sports Report, where we're going to launch off at Darling Stadium in Hampton, see Heritage try to get their first win in 13 years over Hampton.
The seniors on the team now, Morgan, for the Heritage Hurricanes, when they were freshmen, they got beat 77-0 by Hampton. You know, that's been some hard times and some tough weeks leading up to this one, as Heritage is 2-0, trying to move to 3-0 and shock the world, if you will, in the Heritage community by beating the winningest program in VHSL history. The Hurricanes will start inside their own 30-yard line, drive all the way into the red zone when on 4th down, Malik Deloach will roll to the left. The lefty quarterback will throw into the end zone, but overshoots his intended target.
But here we go with number 11 of Hampton. Javon Quiven is going to give for Hampton sophomore, puts up 6, putting them on the board, 6-0 for Hampton.
Quillen following up that 440-yard, 5-touchdown performance and a loss to Woodside, 65-44, with another good start here, and Heritage trailing here. They will throw an interception as that Hampton defense that got beat up pretty good by Woodside making a key play. Vincent Barrett, the linebacker, with the pick, and that sets up Javon Quillen to Tyquan Wilkins on the screen pass into Heritage territory as he makes a couple of guys miss before he gets tackled.
And Quillen again on the next play. We've got a keeper, big run. He's going to go 27 yards. Here he goes, knocked out just shy, about 2 to 3 yards outside the end zone. And punching it in for 2 yards touchdown. Hampton's up 14-0.
I say with the red and black Crabbers, they're loving it here as Quillen went airborne for that score, giving it up there, sacrificing for his team. 14-0. Can Heritage get closer, and they will go to Wanye Patillo as he uses the stiff arm and gets by a guy before Quillen eventually drags him down at about the 20-yard line. And Heritage's offense will keep it here. Throwing now, it's Deloach going to the end zone, and a man is wide open. Marcus Van Hook, the junior, with a 20-yard touchdown reception, slicing into that Hampton lead 14-7 late second quarter.
Oh, and the big completions just continue as here we go with Quillen to Avon Muhammad, who's going to grab it, go take it to the inside, and he's tripped up around the 28. It's not going to be over now with the final play of the half with Wilkins. Is he able to make the play? Long bomb into the end zone, and unfortunately is incomplete going into the second half.
Tough break that could come back to bite Hampton. 14-7 Crabbers in the lead, but the Hurricanes are still in it there, and now they will go to the running game here. Dimitri Holloway, as you see him right there, nice 16-yard run as he keeps those legs churning into the 5-yard line.
And they are definitely churning. You can see them grilling past these defenders. Here we go again, setting up number 9, Jamon Discretion, to be able to tie it up at 14 at the end of the third quarter.
All of a sudden, this is a tie ball game after Heritage was down and almost had a knockout punch there before the half. And Patillo, he's the guy to go to as he's slipping by defenders. He keeps going before he's eventually tackled. And you see Patillo in that running game for Heritage getting stronger as this game progressed. 38 attempts for 247 yards on the night as that combination of Patillo and McEachern lethal down the stretch.
Yeah, down, here we go with 14 tied up, fourth quarter. On first and goal, ending up to punch it in, getting them back up. Heritage will end up taking the lead 21-14 And here we go with the extra point, which is good. You can see the fans getting excited. Extra points up, 21-14. And if this is going to be the final score, this would be the first time, as I said, since 2000, they take the lead.
You see Patillo with a great performance on both sides of the ball. Darian Turner with 10 tackles. Javon Kellum with 108 yards passing and 108 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. And the loss for Hampton, which falls to 1-2 for the first time since 1980.
And Bethel over Gloucester, 56-19, with Slade having 3 touchdowns, and Phoebus over Warwick, 56-7 in the Peninsula District, with Marshawn Williams getting a Peninsula District record with 8 touchdowns.
Monster game for Williams and monster game for Chris Peace. 4 sacks and a 55-yard scoop and score and a fumble for the Denby Patriots, who beat Kickinton and Woodside all over Menchville 60-3. Sam Alvarez with 142 yards rushing and a touchdown. We move now to the Bay Rivers District. It's the Lafayette Rams taking on the Bruton Panthers. Morgan, both of these teams were very stingy defensively in season opening wins, and this is a pivotal one here in York County in the Bay Rivers District, as it will get started off here with Brendan McGinty finding Brendan Villanueva Purnell with a big strike through the air.
And a name we should get used to hearing, number 4, Jahil Green. He's going to make some large plays here. He has a long run, and we're not done yet because we're about to have another big completion to Green. Number 4 going 9 yards, trying to get pulled down, but he gets the ball over the line for the score, and they make the extra punt. 7-0 on the board for Lafayette.
I'll tell you what, Lafayette has a special one in the future Richmond Spider and Jaleel Green. 8-0 in favor of Lafayette here, and it's Bruton going to the passing game. Bilal Wallace's pass is deflected, and now it's tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete, as that Lafayette defense is swarming here early on, forcing a Bruton punt, where Villanueva Purnell, who had 4 touchdown returns on special teams a year ago, is bottled up quickly here. Lafayette, though, with the ball in the lead, and you know they're going to keep it on the ground with Green and now McGinty, who runs out, but he is eventually knocked out by Capri Doucette in that tough Bruton defense.
Yeah, nice slant pattern there with Jarrell Green again with the nice grab, brought down. And here we go with a nice 11-yard touchdown across the end for the score, 14-0 Lafayette, and see if an opportunity here for Bruton to potentially come back leading into the second quarter.
And you've got Lafayette now with the football. The running game's been working, and so has the passing game with a proficient play deep down the field. And they will say incomplete. Looked like that was going to be a good catch, but he couldn't hang on going to the ground. They're going back to the air again and just overthrown McGinty, his intended target there. When the passing game's not working, you give it to the future Spider, and that is Green, who cuts inside, cuts away from another guy, and keeps going here before he gets tackled for a first down.
Yep, Lafayette goes again. He get up to 6, and you know, it's interesting to see Green here, committed to Richmond, as you said. He's run more than 1,000 yards in each of his first 3 seasons, surpassing 4,000 yards for his career. Definitely impactful players. You can see him here again. First, second, third tries a charm, getting him on the board, 21-0. Lafayette takes the lead again. What a workhorse he is as Bruton, number 11. Bill Wallace gets a completion here. And what are they going to do? They're going to end up going to Danielle Jones, who will be able to see they get a little bit closer to that end zone. What happens next, Matt?
Well, Bruton's BC at next level prospect for them, like Green is for Lafayette. Capri Doucette making a catch there, and now they're going to go back to Doucette. This time it is broken up by that Lafayette defense as they will hold here with that 21-0 lead. And now they go with the screen to Green, who sees Green, open field, and daylight. He will go down the sideline before being knocked out of bounds, and he is no easy guy to tackle here. And right now, back to the passing game for Lafayette, as it will be McGinty. He hooks up with his open receiver there. That is Jacob Brender A. Brandis for a 23-yard touchdown. The Rams pitching a shutout, 28-0.
Yeah, Bruton's going to try to get on the board here as number 4 gets a nice run, beats 2 guys, gets just pushed out. Defense stops him, but they're going to go at it again as Capri Doucette ends up getting in here. You can see beats 1, beats 2, Juke in a third, gets brought down. He's going to end up pushing through here, as you'll see, to get 6 on the board to give the Bruton their first score of the game.
Yeah, certainly a luxury for Tracy Arad to have Doucette who can run and catch, but not enough as Lafayette wins it 28-6. You see McGinty with 113 yards passing, a touchdown. Green with 160 on the ground and 3 scores. Wallace with 140 yards passing and the loss for Bruton.
And Bay Rivers continues. Jamestown over Grafton, 20-3. Devon Turner getting a touchdown and 16 yards. New Kent over York, 11-8. As Sawyer Roundtree gets the game-winning field goal of 31 yards.
More finals of the Bay Rivers. It was War Hill edging Smithfield 34-28 behind Devontae Dedman's career-high 250 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. And the Tab Tigers a winner in a thriller 41-35 over Poquoson as Nick Hunter has 4 total touchdowns for Tab.
And Player of the Week, no surprise here, Phoebus High School, Marshawn Williams, who had 308 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, which is amazing to see that. That's that single game record. Definitely worthwhile, definitely deserving, and congratulations to Marshawn Williams.
That's a season for some guys, Morgan, for the Virginia Tech Hokie. But we're out of time. We thank you for watching here, and stick around next time for Sports Report.